You're listening to For Better and Worse with Jess and Rach. Look at us. Podcast outside.
Vibes are right. Vibes are right out here.
You're welcome. If you hear any nice nature sounds in the background.
Welcome.
If you're watching on YouTube, I apologize. I uploaded this late. I already know I did. I never upload the YouTubes on time.
And that's okay.
It's okay. You know, we got to accept what we can accept, do what we can do here. For whatever reason, we record on Wednesdays and deliver on Fridays, which is not enough time.
It's not.
For any reasonable human being. But you know what I told myself when we started? I was like, I'm going to procrastinate no matter what.
Right.
No
That's a
matter
good
what.
point.
So, still not the best plan I've ever had. Not the worst plan either.
But welcome. We are coming at you live from Rachel's childhood backyard. She set us up in the backyard today. What a treat.
It is 85 degrees out.
hot.
In Ohio.
And there's bugs everywhere.
Yeah.
So we will be swatting, moving.
Yeah. A spider very recently dropped from the sky. It might come back.
And
We're raining spiders over here.
The tick PTSD
Ooh.
is coming back.
Jess had an experience that was last weekend.
It was, Jen and Ryan. I'll bring this full circle. Okay. Jen and Ryan, my clients, met
This
them
is
up.
really just a health and safety announcement, you know?
Yeah. So I met them in Bowling Green. They are both Bowling Green State University alumni, as am I. And it was really fun to go there, connect there. And they had just recently graduated from there. So they wanted to do a shoot there, which is great. I would love to go back and visit anytime that I can. So we went. And I found this really cool field area to shoot in because they wanted to do some, outdoorsy photos as well as on campus. And we did just that. And as we came out of the field, we were kind of just like checking each other for bugs. And it was Tick City.
Ooh.
Tick City. And I had a situation last year that I found a tick on me in my chest.
Embedded.
Yeah, embedded it for sure. So like half in, half out. I had a full panic attack. My sister Britt was living at home at the time, and Joe was living with me as well. And I was like, Joe, I have a tick in me. I'm freaking out. And I was like, you need to drive me to the ER. You need to drive me.
I like that now that you say it out loud. You're like,
it was silly, but I also was like, I just was freaking out. Bugs, number one, fuck no. And Joe's shaky hands, number two, fuck no. He cannot take his tweezer out and get the fucking tick out of me. I just know it. So I was like, take me to CVS or, any minute clinic. Like, they'll just get it out. I just need someone with sterile hands and sterile and a steady hand, and you'll get it out. Anyway, so I made him drive to my my sister's work at the time for my sister to take it out.
oh.
Britt got it out for me. Anyway, so we were covered in ticks after this, and I was freaking out.
None were embedded.
None were embedded, thank God. But they were troopers. They were totally cool about it. I was panicking, absolutely panicking about it. But we made it out.
Yeah.
And I just want to say something about my experience at BG, okay? And it was just a moment I had during the shoot. We were on campus, and I haven't been on campus since I graduated. So why?
And
you know what I mean? You drive past it.
People forget that I was a BGSU.
That's right.
1
year.
For 1 year.
You did it.
I did it. So I know exactly. I don't know I remember Cole Hall.
We were right by Cole Hall.
My old stomping grounds.
So a lot of things have changed. Like, they updated a lot, and it's very pretty, but a lot of it is the same. And so we were in like what they call old campus, and it was like the oldest part of campus, and it's just older buildings, but they redid them, whatever. And I just haven't been on campus. It was just like, what a weird nostalgic feeling I was having. And I was just kind of taking it all in and shooting and, directing as business as usual for a shoot. But I was like, also like having this feeling of like, I used to walk these sidewalks dreaming, right? Just like dreaming. What do you do when you're in college? You just dream about your future. and you're constantly, everything I'm doing here is for my future. Everything I'm doing here is going to get me the job that I want, the house that I want, the family, everything, right? And I did a lot of daydreaming in college. I feel like that's all I did. And I was walking these sidewalks and I was doing the shoot, and I was like, wow, never would I think as I was walking these sidewalks years ago that I would be where I'm at and shooting, doing my job on this campus. You know what I mean? It was like a full circle moment for me.
That's really nice.
I know. And not that like I didn't go to school for photography. So it was just like, I thought I was going on this completely different path, but I'm so glad that life led me to the path that I'm walking now. It was a really cool moment to be like, never would I ever have thought that I would be where I am right now while I was walking these sidewalks years ago. I don't know. It was a weird full circle moment, but
I'm glad you got to have that.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I wanted to share that, and I was like, okay, well, if we're bringing up BG moment or tick moment,
bring up BG, bring up the heartwarming story.
Yeah, love it.
I live in my college town. So
I know, that's cool though.
But I don't think I've walked on campus since I graduated.
It's a weird feeling.
Which was now 5 years ago.
Sheesh. But also your college town is your childhood town. So I mean, all of your memories are rooted here. It's like when I go back to Brunswick, where I grew up, where I went to high school, same feelings, right? If I were to walk on campus, like high school, like campus, sheesh. But for you, it's all one. You know what I mean? Mine are different places, so when I go there, it's like hits me like a fucking ton of bricks.
Well, that's why I wanted to go to BG, because I was like, I got to get out of this place. Mm-hmm. But then I was there, and it was just strange. Like I went into college really thinking I was gonna rush, and so I liked that about BG. I liked that it was big Greek life. But then when I got there, I was like, ooh, this is like very clicky. Cringy. It was cringy to me. Like
cringe. It was cringe.
I mean, yeah, it was just like the chevron was all over the place. It was
back in
statement necklaces all over the place.
Back in 09-10.
Remember when we curled our hair and we didn't separate the curls?
The start of Chug, right? Like we were entering
Chug was born. Chug was born.
Chug was born. For sure. But in that whole Greek life thing, I didn't know that about BG. I really like cold called it. Like I was like, BG, they accepted me, I'm going. And really like there was no questions asked. I didn't really like do my research on that. But when I went, and the people who I went to high school with is like all going in, right? It's college. You kind of like cling to them or whoever. Everyone rushed. Everyone joined Greek life. And literally Britt, my sister, she's like, I was like, I don't know what to do. It doesn't feel right. Also, my boyfriend at the time was like, if you do that, I'll break up with you. Toxic. But I was also like willing to like dabble, right? I was like, okay, like this is my time to shine. I'm in college, do my own thing, and my boyfriend is living back at home at the time. But I was like, you can tell me what to do, whatever. But it was also in the back of my head, like, I don't think anyone supports this. So I went to an open house for a sorority on campus, and my cheeks hurt. I left there. I went. You go room to room, right? And everyone's like, "Hi, so nice to meet you." It's like that fucking video. What's that video? They open the door to a sorority house and like, it's so nice to meet you. I'm not
on that side.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, anywho, my cheeks. I remember leaving and I was like massaging my jaw because I was like, oh my god,
is this just how it is here?
Yes. I was like, God, I just don't even feel like I had real convo there, And I was like, still don't feel right. And so I was calling my sister because they gave me a bid. They came to my door awkwardly and were like, we would love to invite you to our sorority. And I was like, give me 24. Usually girls like cry at this moment or like, thank you so much. It's a big moment, right?
I will RSVP later.
I was like, give me 24 hours. I feel uncomfortable. So I called my sister.
It's a financial investment.
Yeah.
You got to think about it.
Yeah, that's true. But it was more just like, I don't know. It never felt right. And so my sister called me and she was like, you have a sister, Jess. She's right here. She took that shit so serious. She was like,
with the FOMO pulling through.
Yeah, she was like, you
don't need any sisters.
You don't need them.
That is the worst part. I know we'll get so much shit for the sorority girls. Nothing against you, but like
shout out to my GDIs.
Yeah.
Goddamn independence. I also loved that name. I was like, you guys think you guys are making fun of me for that, but I like thrived in it.
I would make Greek life shirts with GDIs on it.
Did you?
For our merch one day. No, for us.
I love that because I wanted. Listen, all of you girls carried back in. So I went to school 09 to 13. And I don't know if you guys still do this, but you guys carried these black canvas bags with your letters on them, and that's what you brought to school.
Of course.
And for me, I stared at them because I was like, this is what makes you cool here at BG. And I so badly wanted to make a GDI one and just fucking.
I'll do it.
Okay. I love that. That could be our branding. Goddamn independent.
Yeah.
You think that hurts me?
No.
I was like, you just hype me up, sis. So many times guys
that
would be like, GDI, get out of here. You're not invited here. I was like, I'll go smoke weed somewhere else.
I'll go mooch off someone else's weed.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll just never forget. You know, because like freshman year, I guess at BG, can you rush right away or do you have to wait till the next semester?
You know, they be on you right away. Immediately you step foot on campus, they're like, have you heard about your warranty? AKA our
extended warranty.
AKA our sorority.
All the sorority girls go and then work for the extended warranty.
Pretty much.
That's all it requires.
Okay, no, we're not dogging. I mean, it's great. Like, it is a sisterhood. And you guys.
It's all good fun.
Yeah, and
but I'll never forget going to like a frat house and like obviously like been drinking. I go to the bathroom and I look in the bathtub.
Jungle Juice City.
No shit. There's just poop. So much poop caked on the bathtub. And I just remember being like, I gotta get out of here.
Hit or miss.
I just remember thinking like, these men cannot be trusted. I'm drinking their juice and I gotta get out of here. They're shitting the bathtub.
I have drank out of a bathtub filled with Jungle Juice. I took my solo cup, dunked it in a bathtub, and sipped it. So COVID doesn't have shit on me.
Yeah, that's why you're not afraid of the vaccine.
Yeah, exactly. I am not afraid.
It could have been the same frat house bathroom that I saw shit in.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Jess and I were at BG for one of the same years, which is so wild to think. 2012.
Yeah.
So wild.
What if our paths crossed?
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did, Jess. We just weren't ready for each other yet.
Love it.
We love that. Do you have any stupid fights? People really like that segment, and I thought that we were just half-assing that segment this whole time, but people love to hear it.
The stupid fights?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, this is bad. It's not great. I'm not proud of the moment. But,
that mine's one of those, too.
Joe, I've been gone. Obviously, I was in BG. Things with work are really picking up. I haven't really been home. Joe's been holding it down at the house. He's doing great. He did all this laundry. And Joe does laundry different. So he, folds downstairs. I have a whole system to it. And I was just getting overwhelmed because my pile was really getting big. And obviously I've been busy, so I haven't been home to do it. And I was like, he's like, what's wrong? Something changed after you got out of the shower. I was like, I just hate the way you do laundry. Snapped. He was like, I've been doing laundry for 3 days. And he's like, you hate the way I do laundry? Oh. I felt like such an ass. I really did. Because I was like, that's not what I mean. I think I was just like overwhelmed with, my pile building up and I haven't been on it and I have a whole system to it. And that just really goes back to his biggest pet peeve of me is like the way I clean is not the way he cleans isn't the right way,
which is something you gotta work on.
Yeah,
you gotta work through.
That's what I'm saying. It's on me, and I don't feel great about it. It just was a stupid fight or pretty much real fight.
Yeah, real fight.
And it was after that. It was like a really fun night, and yeah, just fun shit after that. But it was like, sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't. I was on the other end of that feeling for a long time. And it doesn't feel good, so I'm going to encourage you to work on that, because it doesn't feel good to feel incompetent.
Les incompetents.
Les incompetents.
As they would say in Home Alone, as Joe feels very, very familiar with.
Les incompetents.
Yeah, so I know. It's not good, because he's been working his ass off. Like, he's been really holding it down. Like, everything's fine. Everything's clean. And it was just me. I think I was just overwhelmed with everything.
A lot of it's top behavior. Parents fucked us all up. What can we do? What can we say?
Yeah. And I spent the entire day cleaning. So.
Yeah. I pulled you back, though.
Yeah.
Pulled you back to the backyard.
Yeah, you did. Rach, I was like, hey, how do you feel about pushing this maybe tomorrow? Because I'm in full clean mode. And she was like, I prefer today.
I'd prefer not.
And I was like, good because I would have gone.
You would have
down the cleaning.
spiraled.
You know, spring cleaning. Once you start, you can't stop.
I don't know it.
I did the full closet clean out. I was in it to win it.
Yes.
I was going in.
I have ADHD, so when I clean, it's like I'll find like a bag of markers, and I'll be like, I gotta find out which one of these work, and then I'll be like writing, and then I'll be like, how do I want to write my A's today? And then I'll like,
ooh, that's full spiral. Mine
that's just ADHD, and then I'll be like, wait, I don't even know where these markers go. I'll just throw them away.
Oh yeah, my ADHD cleaning is like starts one project, so I'll be cleaning the closet out, get into the bathroom to throw something out, full bathroom clean. I'm like, what was I doing? Go back into the room and completely start a new project. It's like, it's
I've
it's
never
tough.
been so aware of my ADHD since I started Gather, the workspace and studio, and hired someone to work with me. Because like Amber and I will be doing work, and I forget what we were doing, but it's like it's a lot of like we need to take pictures for the website, but in order for me to take pictures, I needed to finish something. So it's like we were working on the website, and then all of a sudden, I'm in one of the offices, like taping stuff.
Yeah.
And Amber was like, "Hey, Rach, what are you doing?"
Yeah, that would be
and I was like, black hole. I don't know.
Yep.
I found myself here.
Yep.
In my head, it was like, I need to take pictures of this, and I can't take pictures of this until this is done. And then if it's not done, I can't put it on the website. We need to launch the website.
Yep. I get it. I get
she was
that
like, that
completely.
makes. And she's so nice. She was like, oh, that makes sense.
I love Amber.
I was like, no, it doesn't. Okay, you gotta quit being so nice to me because
right.
I got a big enough ego. Okay.
I get that, though.
But it's like and then it's like I create little tornadoes everywhere I go, and little Amber is like my little tornado fixer. She's my little. She just cleans.
Wrangles you in.
She cleans as I leave a space. She cleans a space.
Oh, but that is very crucial for you.
It makes me.
She was doing a great job.
You know, fuck capitalism, but it makes me want to be a millionaire, so I could just pay someone to live with me and figure my shit out.
Also, are you a hold on to things as you clean or get rid of it?
Oh, I don't hold much sentimentality to things.
Me neither.
I
don't
have
need
a hoarder-esque complex.
Okay.
So if I'm given an option, but like like birthday cards and shit, I'm like throw that away.
Yeah, there's not much I keep.
Good.
I don't.
It's
There's especially clothes. I'll go to Plato's Closet if I feel like I'll get money for them, but like I'm also like I ain't too good for Goodwill. Like just take it. I'd rather just get it out.
Just take it. I don't need to go to Plato's Closet to have some 15-year-old tell me that my Anthropology jeans ain't shit. I don't need to go through that kind of a berating.
A little tip of the, I don't know, whatever. I don't know what that saying is.
Trick of the trade?
Yeah.
Tip of the
dick. A little tip of the dick for you. Is if there's a tag, I saw this on TikTok, obviously. It's how I get all of my knowledge. There's a tag on the inside of your shirt, and it's usually on the side where it has the year, and they'll check. Or it has the style number, which they can look up on their computer, which gives them the year. And if it's in whatever range that they're not accepting, they won't take it. But if you take the tag off, unless they have caught on to this and they're like, if you tampered with it, then we're just going to go off of what we think is cute or not. But I'm hoping.
All right.
So I started ripping tags off, but also that's a hassle. Like if I'm getting rid of this, like what am I doing this for $5 for a shirt?
Well, also I think Poshmark is the way to go. If you're gonna be that's
a lot of work though.
Yeah, I've just discovered Poshmark.
My friend Michelle is an avid she was an avid Poshmarker. And made some good money off of it.
Like selling stuff?
Yeah, because she would wear it twice, like buy like higher end stuff, wear it twice and like have no use for it. But she's like, I really want to like make money off of it or like give it to someone who would use it.
Yeah.
So, that's the way to do it. I feel like if you really are buying high end stuff and you're only are getting like 1 to 2, 3 uses out of, that is how it works.
Yeah.
But I think if you're trying to sell like
it's gotta be your hustle. It's gotta be your hustle.
Yeah. But if you are trying to sell your old Forever 21 shirt that's been through the wash once.
Yeah.
No one's gonna fucking take it. It just usually
no.
It's stuff that people are looking for, like Lululemons that aren't pilled. Like it's specific market out there. So
yeah,
tread lightly.
Tread lightly. Go a good place for wedding stuff. I found.
Yeah, you did find stuff for Gather there.
Yeah, I did.
I'm screaming into the mic. I'm pretty sure.
It's all right. I'll adjust your balance.
Okay.
I guess so.
Stupid fight of the week.
Our stupid fight, which like wasn't all rooted in truth, okay? And I've been really stressed out. Like, honestly, probably I haven't had many panic attacks in my adult life, but we're on the bridge of one. I'm feeling one, like when you just know it's like in your energy, it's in the air, it's flowing through my veins. I'm going to have one at any time. And we almost hit one. I had a little baby one on Thursday night, last Thursday, the night before our opening. Because I was like creating these selfie stations, and I had this vision in my head of like this like fringe backdrop, and I wanted it to be like stripes, right? And so it was like, why did I think that was going to be a good idea? I don't know, but it involved like cutting and taping like those like plastic fringe things. So we had them on the floor, we had to cut, and then we'd tape, and then after a while, basically it just didn't look right. And I'm just like, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm tired. Josh is with me. Like, Josh is, like, sitting with me doing this, helping out. And I'm aware that, like, he's tired. He has work tomorrow. Like, I'm just very aware of the situation. And I'm like, I tell him, I'm like, you got to go. I'm like, you have to leave. He's like, Rachel, I'm not leaving you here.
You were at Gather doing
this?
Okay.
At night. And I was like, Josh, you're not going to like what I have to say, okay? So I need you to leave. And he's like, Rachel, no. And I just like kind of like go off. Both of these are not very good reflections
it's
on
not
us.
Yeah. We don't claim to be perfect though. Like in these fights are not always just the other person. Like we'll claim. We'll own it.
So he excuses himself for about 10 minutes, goes out in the hallway while I just like sit on a rug, like my head in my hands, trying to think of like what I could do, or like, and I'm thinking about the environment too. I'm like, these are plastic sheets of decoration. I'm just gonna throw them away. These are good for the environment. Like we went full circle.
God.
We went from my small problem to the world's big problem in a matter of 10 seconds. I'm like, I'm part of the problem.
Oh my God.
I'm just contributing to the problem. This would be like freaking boa for a sea turtle.
Oh my gosh.
Punch this in the face. And we got back. I apologize, like, because this is the thing. Josh was handling everything so calmly. He's like, because I like snapped at him, and he was like, Rachel, I really don't appreciate when you talk to me like that. And
wow,
I said, then leave.
Great.
I said, then leave. Get out. If you're gonna talk to me calmly and rationally,
Get out. Don't want to hear it. I don't want only hostility.
I don't want to see you.
Oh my gosh.
I want to scream. That's what I want to do. I want to scream and cry and punch you in the face.
So how did this end?
With me being like, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to figure out the problem.
Right.
I had to figure out what I was going to do with the selfie station. Also, I was like, doing this over a selfie station, Rachel? Get a grip.
Hey, that's where I went right to. But it's also like, I understand. If you're trying to create a space for people to feel less fun, or like the open house, you want people to use that. And so you were trying to make it cool. I get it. But in the grand scheme of things, like, that wasn't the important piece,
No.
The most important piece.
But at those times, it's like everything is so important. Every single detail matters.
Yeah.
Or else it's a failure. So, that's my story. That's my situation. But cracking another one. Jess has the cutest nails.
Oh, yeah. I finally found a nail spot that I like.
You have to go to Green.
Yeah,
which
Green.
Is a boot, but
is that Akron?
It's between Akron and Canton.
Yeah. So it's south. But it's great. I love nails. I love nail art. Are those acrylics? Yeah.
Okay. I want them, but I think I just would.
It's great for wedding season because they're really durable. I'm like shit on my nails. I clean a lot. I'm not careful with them.
You clean a lot. Jess.
That's a lot of chemicals.
I know.
And I'm not using green products.
This is a part of your personality.
So young living girls, don't come for me because I'm not using thieves. I'm using Clorox. Come for me. One day maybe I'll switch, but
no, why? Fuck it. We're all gonna die. I'm sick of all these people trying to make our lives longer than they need to be. Okay? If I die from overuse of bleach, so be it.
At least I know my shit's clean.
At least I know my shit's clean.
I know. They're going to come at me with fact checks and be like, it's just as clean.
I'm fine if you just want shit to smell good. Like, that's how my mom is. My mom is a doTERRA hoe.
Okay, doTERRA is... I get the oil. Okay, are we going on this? We will. I get the oil stuff. I like it. I think aromatherapy is very beneficial. but it's like, don't sell me on everything. Like, like I think oils are great. I use them regularly. Like, I'm not knocking that, and I'm not knocking.
Jess and I try to be sensitive around this because I think it's fair to say every other photographer we know is a part of a multi-level marketing scheme.
It has happened. And it's like
it's part of it.
I get where it starts. You know?
Yeah.
Liking oils. Oh, Joshua's home.
Oh
my gosh, he can make an appearance.
He could.
Okay.
But yeah,
do you want to pause before we?
Yeah, we'll get started on the meat.
The meat. We always call it the meat.
We call it the meat.
We're gonna beat the meat. We won't do that. All right, we're gonna get into the meat of this episode, and that is, what do we call it? I mean, vendor horror stories.
Vendor story. Yeah.
Yeah, so we put out on Instagram, just like send us all your horror stories, and it could be being a vendor and your stories being from like funny bad experiences from clients or anything that you've experienced, and from clients if you had shitty vendors and experiences like that, to send them in. So we got both. Yeah,
and I think, I don't know about the ones you personally got, but I'm pretty sure like 90% of the ones I've read have been about DJs.
Really? I have
the
a few.
Worst. Oh my god.
But yeah, I get
there are a lot of bad DJs. There are just some types of vendors that it's really hard to find a diamond because it's also rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, we got our guy.
Aaron,
we love you.
Aaron and Son.
Not yo average DJ.
They're not yo average DJ. They are so great. I'm just going to shout them out that I've referred the hell out of them this year. Yeah. But if you guys need DJs that aren't corny, that do listen to what you need, who will...
are artists themselves.
But literally they've like told me scenarios that they've been in as DJs and how they've like troubleshooted the hell out of it. I mean, literally our Wi-Fi went out at our wedding and we would have never known that. These two stopped at a rest stop nearby, downloaded all the songs to their laptop so that we would have our music for our wedding. Nobody knew.
Yeah, nobody
ever knew. But they're great.
So good.
You want to go first?
I'll tell a personal story first because this is something I forgot in our wildest wedding stories. After we recorded, I was like, oh my God, how did I forget this? So this was kind of a nightmare situation to begin with. This was, I got this wedding 5 days in advance. The photographer, I was just a bad situation, had a death in her family.
Oof.
And just kind of left the couple high and dry, which, like, no judgment. But I had shot the groom's cousin's wedding.
Got it.
So, and that was like a year previous. So it was like, I knew that. I'd met them already. So it was all good. Met the bride like the next day. We went out to lunch. Everything's fine. And it's like a low-key wedding at kind of like just like a very DIY venue space.
Okay.
And the DJ, when I got there, was like setting up, and he had like a full setup, you know, like all the mixing boards, all the lights, the DJ lights. DJs get hard for their lights. Let's just be honest.
They do.
They get so hard for their lights. It's a lot.
But it's so funny that like me personally could care less.
Couldn't care less.
Yeah. Sorry, I said that wrong.
Yeah.
Always do. Joe always corrects me. Couldn't care less.
Yeah.
But they get real crazy about it. It's like the more light show that they can provide, the better the service.
The red
and that
lasers.
Is not true.
Oh,
enough is enough. But
I
enough. Did see this cool like light up floor, LED floor. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, some of them are like it's fun enough. But this guy, like I met him, and he was like friends with the bride's dad, and so he was like drinking already, and it was like 2 p.m. and I was like, this is a lot. Like, I get it. Like, just your family friend, blah, blah, blah. Go for it, dude. Kicking it. But it's very clear that alcohol is not the only thing he's been doing that day.
Understood.
So, the ceremony and reception are in the same place. And, you know, like, for, like, the walk-ins, the entrances for the bridal party, how, like, names are usually called.
Right.
Okay, well, we're at the ceremony part. The groomsmen are walking in the bridesmaids, and he starts announcing them walking into the ceremony. Like, Jason and Karina walking in now for the wedding.
What?
Sam and Johnny, bridesmaids and groomsmen, walking.
Why?
Because he was on drugs. It was like he was like completely out of it. And the bride went up to him because she was like in the venue, like, and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm announcing." And she's like, "That's not the part. That's not the part you do this for."
Right.
So weird and awkward. And by the reception, he's trashed. Like, he is trashed, so far gone. And I'm just trying to like keep everything running. Yeah. And you know, like, the photographers and the DJ usually like touch base, and you know, most of the time
DJs
the
schedule.
Go over the schedule, but the DJ's normally just like, are there any rules for me? Mm-hmm. A nice, respectful. And he was kind of like, he didn't ask me that, but I was just like, hey, because he had the lights going during dinner. He just had the laser beams going during dinner.
Off.
It's like, people are trying to enjoy their meal. Okay, relax, dude. And so it's time for the first dances, and I go up to him like, hey, can you turn off the lights? Like, it's just not the right vibe for these emotional dances.
Sure.
And he was just like, okay. We are halfway through the father-daughter dance when he announces on the mic, hey, guys, the photographer doesn't want me to have the lights on, but I'm saying fuck her.
What?
And he just turned it back on. Inappropriate and weird. Everybody was like,
I think he thought that he was a family friend, that he could get away with this. Like, it was like
he was on.
Obviously, he was on some shit. But
I mean, I've never seen anyone on methamphetamines, but that's pretty much what I imagine and what I think it was. I don't know. I'm not well versed in drugs, but he had the audacity to give me his card at the end of the night. I was like,
yeah, like,
dude,
like, I'd refer you.
We are not in the same. We are not of the same.
I would not refer someone.
I would not refer, but I should have.
Who literally said "fuck you" over the mic to me?
He was like,
Classic.
he was like, the photographer doesn't want me. I was like, and then of course the bride and groom have their dance afterwards. So I was just like, hey, turn them off. Like, I'm not gonna be nice. You turned them off.
Right.
Comical.
Comedy
is finest.
Yeah, as I'm looking through, it's a lot of DJs.
Oh, a lot of DJs.
Why though?
DJs need a boot camp. Like, photographers, we've had enough workshops. DJs need a workshop.
Yeah, but they should be. But they're not. Why?
No.
Why?
Any white man that can hold a microphone thinks they can be a DJ, and that's just a fact.
It's not facts. Okay.
You got one for us?
Okay. I think so. I am looking through. Okay. I mean, there's a lot, so I'm just going to start with an easy one. Our party bus driver locked us out of the party bus, and it started pouring. She was nowhere to be found. After standing in downpour for about 15 minutes, she comes from the woods and said, "Oh, sorry, I drank too much iced tea. Really had to go." This was before the ceremony. She also got the bus stuck under the awning when dropping us off at the reception. Guests had to help push the bus on the way to the reception. Like, at the church, she got stuck in the Okay, also, I asked her, I was like, were you really, like, what was your, like, hair and makeup messed up? She said, yes, 100%. She said that all of her bridesmaids were trying to, but she was just like, fuck it. Like, you know, she's laughing it off. Like, this girl is amazing. She's so cool. But
were you her photographer or no?
No.
Oh,
I don't know any of these stories. I was not present for. That's the first one that I heard from a transportation situation.
No, but that's
enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's enough of that. Also, like, didn't even know how to drive. Like, how do you not know the clearance of your bus?
Oh, I mean, I don't think there are, like, rules.
Pushing a bus? I would be laughing hysterically.
I really would be.
Like,
too.
and here's the funny thing. And I will be capturing that with my camera, and I do. People are always like, "Oh, don't get this is so shitty moment." I'm like,
it's happening. You're gonna want it.
It's happening, and it's on your day, and that's what I chose to document. Right, your day as it is, and that's what I promised and vowed to do. So hire me to glorify the shitty moments.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's a bad one, but not much you can really do about it. Shitty drivers, you know what I mean? Like. It's a vendor, but it's not one.
She was a woman.
You don't. God is a woman. Yeah, it's not. Can't expect too much of that of a driver.
Okay, here's one I got. Okay, I was dating a guy, and less than a month in, he told his sister that I was a wedding photographer. She ended up booking me for her small, intimate wedding in Acadia National Park, aka Maine. I was super excited for it, but deep down wondered what would happen if we broke up and I still had to shoot the wedding. Well, that happened. He broke up with me like 3 months before the wedding. No. I didn't know if I should go through with shooting the wedding and felt super awkward. It wasn't the easiest breakup, but once the wedding rolled around, I felt confident to still shoot it. I did my best to roll with it and still do a kick-ass job. It was definitely awkward at times, but the most awkward thing happened when I went to say my goodbyes and leave the wedding. He said he missed me and wanted to grab drinks sometime. Aww. I can't remember my exact words, but I denied him and happily walked away. I flew home a few days later to find that he wrote me a postcard explaining how great it was to see me and blah, blah, blah.
Please tell me they're married.
No. He said something about that he hoped we could still at least be friends. I laughed out loud and moved on with my life. See you, Chad. No second chances for you.
Okay, but I find that cute.
Yeah, I mean, he shot a shot. I mean, it depends on how bad he hurt, like how bad he fucked up.
I don't know. We obviously don't know the details of how it ended or what the relationship was or entailed of. But, okay, but here's the thing I was just thinking about. Do we forget that The Notebook was like a situation where they broken up and gotten back together?
Do we forget?
I do. I always think everyone's like, Notebook. Do you have a Notebook romance? Everyone compares it to The Notebook. But the thing is she was married with another dude, and like this was like her soulmate, you know, like high school sweetheart, puppy love.
She wasn't married yet, Jess.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was like that connection of like, hey, I miss you. We should be doing this, you know?
Yeah.
So I find that romantic.
But it could be awkward seeing as she's just trying to do her job. You know, she's trying to shoot this wedding.
Hey, you know what? It's better than her going and then like ignoring each other. At least he was like into her, so it hyped her up a bit. Of course she did a kick-ass job. She's one of our photog friends. I want to know who it is. Tell me later. Yeah. Let me find another one.
It's getting hot out here.
It is. It's warm and the bugs are flowing. Okay, here's a good one. Yeah. Our DJ, our DJ for our wedding sent an emergency and told us the day before he had to send a fill-in that we never met to be our DJ. We had made a playlist we wanted included our music and the general vibe we wanted, and the fill-in was never told what we wanted. Just the important songs, first dance, cake cutting, etc., etc. Also, we paid our photographer to also record the ceremony. He told us he didn't want to get a second shooter because he could do it and didn't want to pay someone to do it, so we trusted him. Big mistake. He never mic'd us, recorded none of the ceremony, and then told us that the footage wasn't good, so he wasn't going to send us anything. Gave us $250 back for the trouble.
Yeah.
You can't. I don't know. As a photographer, you can't without someone's help.
Right.
You can't video and photograph it at the same time successfully. No. How would a client know this? You don't. So that's hard.
No, it really isn't a matter of like switching, like flipping a switch.
No.
You have to like change your levels and like, I mean, shooting in.
There's tripods that need to be set up. There's like numerous cameras that need to be set up.
Yeah, it's a lot. And
so at least she knew that he wasn't like bullshitting them. Like she knew that he wasn't recording, like clearly because he was taking photos.
Yeah, but weirdly, so I love my wedding photographer, but like she was really young. Like we were both really young. We were both the same age, so we were like 21. And she had told me, because I asked her, I was like, hey, do you know any videographers? And she's like, hey, I could shoot a little bit of video. Like, you just want a highlight video? I was like, yeah. And it was like a month before our wedding. I was like, hey, still double checking. Like, what do I owe you for the video? And she's like, actually, I don't think I could. And it was just too late.
Ugh,
You know, it's just, it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, now looking back on it, glad I didn't invest in it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Didn't work out.
Didn't work
out.
And that's okay. But yeah.
They would have just captured me dancing with my friends and him. I don't even know where he was half the time. So, it would have been a weird video.
Wait, I did just see this. This one bride wanted her highlight video, her wedding video, to be shot exactly like the Office intro. Did you see this? Yeah. That's pretty epic.
That's cute.
If you haven't seen it, maybe we'll link it.
It's on TikTok.
It's on TikTok, but it's really funny. And it's also like, shout out to the videographer.
That's funny.
Because that's not typically what they would do.
Yeah.
So they had to, like, obviously they video a lot of stuff, but like the in-between and funny moments and like awkward moments. And then sync it up to the theme song. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you have one? Cause
I have just like these. This is short.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Don't take a client meeting during a wedding on your dinner break. And then she also says, last one. The last DJ I did a wedding with literally sang/screamed into the mic during the father-daughter dance.
Like what? Like, let's go. Shout out to the...
Just probably like whatever it was. It could have been like a Journey song, you know, like whatever it was.
And
he just, like,
my
singing
God.
along. I said, that cannot be real. And then I said to her, 'cause she's another wedding photographer, I said, I also feel like 9 out of 10 of these stories are going to be about DJs. She said the first one is too.
Yeah.
Like a DJ took a future client call during dinner, which like DJs are honestly always on call during dinner because it's like someone might want to do an impromptu speech. Like sometimes like the music fades out. Like wild move, dude.
I know. I don't really. This is kind of crazy. We're dogging DJs, but I know that all the vendors are typically solid, right? Like everyone's got it down. We know what we're doing. Yeah. But the DJ is always just typically a little weird.
Oh yeah, really weird.
Like saying something like just awkward, like doesn't know the social cues.
No.
Which is someone who needs to know the social cues. Your whole entire job is to read the damn room the entire time.
No, and they just don't.
Right?
Like there are the DJs, like the DJs that I enjoy working with are DJs that are like actual disc jockeys. Not MCs.
Disc jockeys, what a term.
That's what
I have not heard that in years.
But that's what I enjoy. Like people that actually go to clubs and they know how to hype up a party. They're mixing, like what San does.
Yeah.
Like that I like. That's like what I
mashing up songs.
But the like
I don't know if that's
the like youth pastor DJ. Get the fuck out of here, dude. You just want to hear your own voice. Ugh. Like, you're weird. You're weird, dude. Like, okay, not to talk, but remember you were interviewing a DJ and he asked who Kid Koodie was? And you were like, I will not be going with him.
Never forget. Never forget. Yeah, it was, but that's how I feel like they just don't know. Like, if you don't have someone that matches your vibe, like, oh, and what do you have on this? Okay, because there's like our last 5 songs that we wanted to pick. Like we needed a signal to the end of the night, and we had a very strategic plan for that. And one of them was a Kid Koodie song, and he's like, okay, here, and what? He didn't know any of this, and that's okay. You don't have to know like any of our like deep cuts or our first dance song. That's fine. Those aren't well known. But Kid Koodie. I think everyone fucking knows Kid Koodie.
Day and night.
Yes, and if you don't, like, and he was like Kid Koodie, and I was like, Kid Koodie doesn't even scrape the surface of rap that we want. So I was like, if you don't know, I won't expect you to play. You know what I'm saying?
You won't be able to read the room.
Yeah.
Read the vibe, because a lot of it is like a good DJ will be like, okay, they requested these songs, but the energy in the room is really feeling this right now. And they'll go with what people are dancing to.
Yeah.
Like, I anticipate at my wedding, there's going to be a lot of Cardi B.
Yeah, there will be.
A lot of Cardi motherfucking B, okay?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. It was, speaking of reading the room, speaking of Aaron and San, which we will be referring to as the best DJs of all time.
They go anywhere.
They do. They're actually going to Charleston with me for Joe's cousin's wedding.
I love that so much.
I know. And it's funny because Aaron has family out there. So he was like, it's perfect that I'll stay. Yeah, so that worked out. So they will go anywhere, but they're awesome. But it was Aaron. I mean, the vibe was right. I mean, we were cutting a damn rug out there, and it was hype. I'm talking hype. And Aaron came up to me. He's like, hey, I know you requested 2 slow songs. We're about to hit Leon Bridges River. What do you think? I was like, no. I was like, but he was reading the room. Like, we were all going. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there was no way to slow it down. And we slowed it down at the end, and that was the point. But
yeah.
He was just reading the room. He's like, and he's also, he always checked in with me and Joe. Like, what do you know? We also expressed how important the party was and the music was. So it was like, he always made sure that we were always on the same page. And
yeah,
it was so great.
Yeah, they were so good.
Okay, moving along. This is so, a lot of people read this as just like horror stories at weddings in general, like cringe moments.
Which we're here for.
Okay. Had a first look where the groom literally turned around upon seeing his beautiful wife in her low-cut dress and just said, are you going to cover up?
Oh.
Okay. Is this funny? No.
Is it the right time?
No. Was he joking because he didn't know what to say? Because there are... I'm not saying that this is okay. I'm just saying... Like, you know how first look moments are like really built up, yep. and it's really built up on, and this is in a typical heterosexual wedding,
yeah,
where it's bride and groom is what we're referring to right now. It's like, there's a lot of pressure on the groom to cry or to have this reaction that the bride wants,
and I think first looks, a lot of the brides that want them want the reaction.
I know, but I choose first looks for people who are typically anxious when it comes to a lot of attention on them, or if they want to have this private moment with their partner. I would suggest this. I would suggest it for people who really want to enjoy their day. The timeline is set up better and beneficial to you if you do a first look, because you can get your photos done out of the way before the ceremony. But There are ones that do this for the reaction, for the big theatrics. Okay, this just in, a hot take.
Checked our DMs once before closing.
Just got this in. I read the first sentence and I'm hooked. I'm going to cold read this submission.
Oh my God.
And it's quite lengthy, but we will bear with us.
Okay.
My videographer showed up stoned.
Ooh.
Shall I go on? Yes. Oh, okay, sure. So booking with them was easy. However, when I booked, they replied, I don't really do videos anymore, but sure, I'll do yours. We love the confidence. We met up. And went over. Okay, sorry. This is what cold reading will do. We met up and went over what my then fiance and I wanted to highlight in the video and so on. All very professional. But then it took months to get a hold of them, and I never got an official contract until, wait for it, a week before my wedding. While I understand life happens and sometimes things get lost in the crossfire, they openly admitted, not to me, but on their IG, that they overbooked themselves and practically gaslit their clients.
Gaslit them?
Yeah. I don't even know where to start with that. I mean...
I'm sorry, if here's just a top tip. Hopefully you didn't pay them any money before you signed a contract. Never, ever, ever give a deposit if a contract hasn't been signed. Contract first, deposit later. So it must have scared you quite a lot to have seemingly had this day booked with no protection in place.
But also, like,
someone has to be real stoned for you to be able to tell. You know, like, I lived in Oregon for a while, so it's like, I didn't realize how high people were all the time. But, wild.
Yeah, wild. But also, like, red flag number 1, we don't do video anymore, but I'll do yours.
It's like,
this person should be doing actively. Like, don't hit up someone who's, like, not that into it or doesn't put their heart into it. Right. And we'll get into that, too, like, in another episode about... If you got, I get it. Like, if you're trying to save a buck, but also, we're biased, but we're saying photography and videography is worth the money.
Yeah, it is worth the money. When they're, not on drugs.
Okay, another good one that we can kind of speak on. So I have a horror story genuine question for vendors, which is good for us. So I booked my makeup in February 2020 for my wedding on August 29th, 2020. Okay. In June, my vendor contacted me and said that she had a June bride reschedule her wedding.
Sherry.
I'm going to read the whole story again.
Yeah.
So I have a horror starting again. So I have a horror story genuine question for vendors. So I booked my makeup in February for my wedding in August. In June, my vendor contacted me, said she had a June bride reschedule her wedding to the same date as mine. And since the bride had booked before her, she would honor her date change over mine.
That doesn't make much sense.
I pushed back because I was nervous about finding makeup 2 months before my wedding. And even she offered to ask the other bride if she would be okay with doing me instead of her that day. I said, no, do not stress that bride out again. But what are your thoughts? Do you honor people who book you first or dates that are set? P.S. It all worked out. Definitely a stressful week. COVID was weird.
Nobody knew what to do.
But it was like, if people had already booked you, how did you handle this, Rach? So let's ask you about what COVID and reschedule looked like for you.
So dates were honored over.
Same.
So like my couples had to choose dates that I was available for. Right. Like I didn't honor my couples, if that makes sense. Like if a couple that rescheduled for June rescheduled for an August date, they just like they would have lost their deposit if they chose a date I wasn't available for.
Right.
And that, I made that kind of clear. But I mean, obviously in my contracts now I had to make that like crystal clear because I felt like I was protected, but you could have read between the lines a little bit. Like it was too general. And since COVID, like a lot of us didn't know what to do, but like a lot of lawsuits came out this year because there were vendors really making shit up in their contracts, like being like, you owe me this now if you want to choose a Saturday. It's like, guys, I don't know. There are horror stories on both ends from this year, from clients being unreasonable, from vendors being unreasonable, venues, photographers, videographers, floor. Like, I mean, I've heard bad shit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is like unpredictable type shit.
Yeah.
But I guess this reschedules rarely happen. It only started to happen with COVID.
Yeah.
So if it's like date set in stone, pay deposit, ready to rock, they're not rescheduling. You rescheduled and are picking a day that's already booked for me. I said, hey, that's already booked. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like that's how it worked for us.
Yeah. Because then, yeah.
That's the only way to do it. Just think about people. Everyone's paid the deposit. Everyone's in your same boat. But if someone already has that date locked and loaded, that's what the deposit's for. That's what holds their date.
Yeah, the deposit is for the date.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's exactly. Yeah.
It's for the date. Because there was a situation like years ago where it was like a family friend. This is kind of a client nightmare. Family friend. I now, like, I don't work for family friends unless I will like shoot their wedding for free, because the exchange of money is so awkward that I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. But this was a family friend, and they booked me, and like I sent out the contract and it got signed, but the deposit was never given. And it was one of the things, like the bride lived out of state, but I knew her mom, and and so her mom like was supposed to be writing the check, but the bride had already signed the contract. And so I wasn't really too fussed about it. Like, we live in the same town, no big deal. And then the grandpa of that family passes away. And so I knew, I'm like, I'm not going to ask about money. It's not that big of a deal. But let's keep in mind, I've gotten 3 other inquiries for that date, turned him down. Because I'm like, these are a family friend. Like, I know that they're good for it, blah, 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 blah. Until I get an email from the bride. This is, and then after, like, maybe 2 months after the grandpa passed, I messaged the mom, because I knew the bride was just going to pass it to the mom. I knew that family dynamic. And I was like, hey, just so you know, I haven't gotten the deposit yet. like, can you give it to me? And she was like, yeah, let me talk to my husband. We'll get it to you. And long story short, that goes on for a few months. They never get it to me. And I get an email from the bride, which is just forwarded emails from her parents. So it's like, it's interactions between the bride and her parents via email. So it's like, it is very uncut.
Yeah.
I was never meant to read it, but her parents said stuff like, this is absolutely unreasonable, irresponsible. I can't believe Rachel's charging this much money. Like, we will not be paying for it. And I messaged the mom on Facebook and said, like, just so you know, I saw all those emails, wildly unprofessional. Just so you know, you have cost my family, or, you know, at the time I was married, I was like, you've cost us money that we really need during that time of year. I've turned down jobs for you. If you were anyone else, you would still owe me the deposit, but I'm going to let it go. Block. Bye.
I'm going to save this. I'm going to table this for our vendor episode. And we can really get into shooting weddings for free and shooting family and friends.
Yeah.
It's only takeaway is just like, your work should be compensated for. That's on.
It's I shot your wedding for free.
I know, but it's like facts, but also like, I give you back in friendship.
Okay.
It's compensated.
It's all compensated for.
I know, but there's a line. There's a line that we can talk about.
Yeah.
At what point is it like?
I can't say that I would want to do it again.
No.
I've got a couple other, you know, freebie weddings on the docket, but
Same,
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just hard for me.
Use your judgment,
especially when like friends or family don't have the budget, and I'm like, I don't want to watch you hire someone shitty. Like, I'll just do it.
And it's like, I'll just do it. It's not
I'll
a big
just
deal.
do it. I don't fucking care.
Okay, last one, and this is fun. Okay, here it is. At my last wedding, so this is recent. At my last wedding, one of the groomsmen disappeared for a really long time. The coordinator found him fighting with his girlfriend in the parking lot and ushered him back in for speeches.
Never a good look.
But it's also, people are drinking. Obviously,
yeah.
Lots of fighting. Okay, after speeches, he disappears again. And when I went to get some shots of the outdoor part of the reception, I noticed a group of people staring in the general direction of the bathroom. Think outhouse, but shit flushes. I know exactly. When she described that, I knew exactly.
It's like a horse trailer.
Yeah, it's like toilets. A new thing, but they're nice, kind of. Okay, I walk over immediately and insert myself into the conversation and learn that the groomsman and his girlfriend are now fighting in the men's side of the outhouse, like bathroom. People kept taking turns going to the woman's side. They were attached and trying to report back pieces of the argument. I walked over to the bride, and she was fully aware of what was going on and even took a trip to the woman's side herself. The groomsman came out without the girlfriend, and everyone thought it was some kind of magic trick. Moments later, she stumbled out of the bathroom and tried to sit on the ground in protest of him having a good time.
Oh.
Damn it, fast. She walked up to him and tried to start another argument, which is when he escorted her bachelor style to the shuttle. Bachelor style.
Arm in arm.
Sent her back to the hotel. Everyone cheered. It was a beautiful train wreck.
I love the bachelor style.
Love to see the drunk groomsmen and bridesmaids, or
it's just like it's a train wreck you can't look away from.
No, and we will definitely insert ourselves just like this person did.
Oh yeah, I love to know what people are fighting about.
Yeah, but
I love
it's
to know
also like what fires do we need to be putting out?
Yeah,
you know,
I like that. I can just imagine the bride like in her wedding dress, just like trying to hear through the walls.
I know. I love that she's like went in herself.
Yes,
that's funny.
It's just like, your drunk friends don't stop being shit shows at your wedding, so please don't expect them to put it on pause, because they won't.
Right.
Okay, we got one more.
Okay, sorry. This is the last one. Where are you? Okay. This is kind of fucked up. Okay. Oh my God, so many. But a fave from when I worked in a bridal salon in Beverly Hills. A bride pooped in the fitting room on the floor.
Is that
pause?
From the
pause
movie? Is that from the
there.
movie? Is
No.
that from Bridesmaids? Is
No.
that like a retelling?
Oh my God. Okay, but I have so much to say about that. On the floor during a final fitting and tried to pretend like it was mud.
There's mud in the middle of the...
That smell of mud, that smells like absolute shit. Excuse you? This was the same salon where we had cockroaches in the back room and had to sometimes smash cockroaches into the carpet during appointments so the brides wouldn't see. And this was a high-end boutique, too.
Beverly Hills.
Straight up barf. Beverly Hills. That goes to show, like, not everything is what it seems. But it's also like a bride took a shit. Wait, I just can't
imagine, like,
was it a bridesmaid scenario where it's like emergency?
But like, you gotta,
the nerves of trying on dresses.
You gotta shout it out.
I shit. Or where's the bathroom?
I mean, maybe it was. But okay.
So many questions.
You know, you're not alone with those dresses for very long. You know what I mean? Like, there's always someone there.
Oh, and they're like, "Let me know when you want me to zip you up."
Yeah, or like, you know, they've got the clamp situations.
Yeah.
So if you shit on a bridal room floor in Beverly Hills, we would love to know your side of the story.
Yeah,
please.
If it was an SOS emergency situation, we loved a good poop story.
Yeah, so please write in because we want to know your side of the story.
Oh my God.
Did you have, bad steak or something?
Steak? You
I
went
don't know.
for red meat.
I went for red meat. Red meat, fuck you up.
Oh my gosh. Also, poop stories are funny.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I don't have IBS, so I feel like I'm a real survivor in that sense. I'm a real survivor.
Oh my gosh. Well, great fucking stories.
Yes.
Thank you guys for your. We had so many, like a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Get through all
we
of them.
did it. We had to move inside because my computer was like overheating and my camera was overheating because the sun was too hot.
Vibes were good. Vibes were good out there.
Vibes were good out there.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna follow up with probably some more vendor stuff. That's been interesting. But again, DM us if you have something you want to hear us talk about. We're always taking suggestions. We love what you're doing with the place here.
We love what you're doing with the place.
We love what you're doing with our podcast.
Seriously, guys, we love the input. So submit any topics you have for us or anything we want.
Yeah.
You want us to talk about. Nothing's off limits unless we don't do the episode, which means it's off limits. Yeah. But usually we're pretty open to that shit. Yeah. So.
And again, shameless plug for my business in Akron because I'm
freaking
out. Yeah. So let it be known it's okay to fail.
That is not true. It's not failing. It's not.
Better.
Seriously, guys, go check out Gather Akron.
If you want some workspace, office space, yeah, small events,
it's
anything.
Fucking phenomenal.
It really does look great. I can't complain about this.
Someone said, like, I'd have a birthday party here, and I said, yes, you can definitely rent it out. Like, there's so much shit you could do with it. It is so great. Yeah. You guys use it for its co-working space because I think
it'll be really good for people.
Me too. Especially, you don't have to be creative. You don't. You can literally work there alone. It doesn't have to be people you have to chat with. Go there and fucking work.
Yeah, get to work. Now get to work, bitch.
Right. We love you.
We love you guys.
We will see you next week. Deuces.